we wanted to do a really quick video talking about our electrolyte drops, our electrolyte supplements rather. We get three main questions about the electrolyte supplements. Number one, which one should I use? How much should I use? And how should I measure it? So we first started off with the electrolyte drops. The electrolyte drops are for general hydration. If you're on a ketogenic diet, just looking to get your electrolytes up, that one works really well. It has a good amount of sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Then we got the fasting drops, which is mostly just sodium. It has a lot less potassium, and that was due to a request by Megan Ramos of IDM. Their renal patients, their kidney patients, couldn't have that much potassium, and they wanted something that had all of the sodium and trace minerals in a clean format. And all of our electrolytes have no sweetener, no flavor, no caffeine, no flavoring. They're just electrolytes. And then we have the magnesium drops. So the magnesium drops, it's unlike, well, when you go to the grocery store and you buy a magnesium supplement, it's usually going to be magnesium oxide, which your body does not readily absorb. It's actually very hard for you to absorb anything from that. But the magnesium drops, this was actually based on a request that Miriam had because she wanted a higher quality magnesium supplement.
Yep, I was having headaches and leg cramps, a lot of leg cramps after I started keto. And so when I saw that we could get this, I just jumped on that. I said, I want that. And it really helps. I do about a half a cap in the morning and a half a cap at night. And it seems to work really well for me for maintenance. If ever I have a big headache, I'll take a little bit more than that. But pretty much I just do a half a cap in the morning and at night.
Yep.
For measuring the fasting drops or electrolyte drops, a lot of times we just suggest that you do them to taste. You can put them in your water to taste, because a lot of times your body will tell you when you need more, and you'll end up maybe putting more than what we recommend in. But we do have recommendations on the bottle. The cap used to measure, and you would use, for the fasting drops, is it 1 capful?
So a capful for 32 ounces of water is the I don't want to taste it at all recommendation. Like water. But most people, especially if you're doing fasting or if you're doing a ketogenic diet and your electrolytes are low, you won't taste it at all until you've put in 2 or 3 times the recommended dose. There's not a problem with doing that. Feel absolutely free to put as much as you want. And like Miriam was saying, we usually just add it until we can taste it and figure that's how much we need. The magnesium drops, on the other hand, put too much of that in there and you get a bit of a laxative effect.
You could.
Yes, you could. You say you've never had a problem with that. I've never had a problem with it either. Yeah. And these, as we discussed earlier, these don't have a flavoring to them, though they do have a taste. The magnesium drops they're bitter, mm-hmm. Unless you dilute them a lot. The fasting drops and the electrolyte drops are mostly just salty. And now as far as, let's see, so we covered which ones you should use. So electrolyte drops, general hydration. Fasting drops for extended fast. Magnesium drops.
You can use these every day too.
Yeah, you can use those every day too.
Because you need the sodium.
The magnesium drops is more for cramps, trouble sleeping, headaches.
It really does help sleep. I actually have a hard time falling asleep at night, and so my mind just won't turn off at night. My head hits the pillow, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this and this and this and this and this, all the things. So I take the magnesium drops, and it helps me.
Helps you relax.
Me relax. It helps me sleep. So.
Yep. Now, as far as how much to use, we kind of covered that. Now, about measuring, like Miriam said, you usually use the lid will give you a half a teaspoon, which is what the recommended. That's what the dose on the back. Mm-hmm. The amount of minerals that it shows on here is for a capful. Now, after a while, you'll get to the point where
Or
you don't even
know what
bother
you
with a
need.
capful.
You'll
Just take the bottle and just squeeze it in. And one thing we've taken to doing lately is if we have a fountain drink with a straw, we actually did this literally
or just
yesterday.
Just water with
Yeah.
ice.
Well,
Just pour it right down the straw.
Right down the straw. And that way you take a drink,
You taste the saltiness.
but it goes right on past.
But then the straw keeps pulling up more water or whatever
whatever.
you're drinking, and then you don't taste it anymore. So it's nice to get a quick dose in, because man, when you have a headache and you need the electrolytes quick, it helps really fast. So
And
it's
another
nice.
thing you can do that, again, I did this yesterday on an airplane flight when I had a headache. Take a capful, fill it up, and just dump it into your mouth. You try to miss your tongue as much as possible because
it's bitter.
very
Yeah.
salty. Or in the case of the Magnesium Drops, very bitter.
Yeah, salty.
But you can do that, and a lot of people will report headaches or whatever going away almost
Very
instantly.
quickly, yeah.
So anyway, that's our electrolyte supplements. We do have a more in-depth video with Miriam and I showing how to measure them with like an actual glass of water. But we get a lot of questions, so we wanted to do a video just to kind of help answer people's questions.
Yep, so if you have any other questions, please go ahead and write them below, and we will go ahead and answer those, and have a good day.
Thanks.